30 days ago, I deleted every social media app from my phone. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, gone. What happened next completely shocked me, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why every man needs to hear this message. Because what I discovered about social media addiction isn't just changing my life. It might save yours. Look, I thought I had control. I'm not addicted, I told myself. I just check Instagram a few times a day. But when I actually tracked my usage, I was spending over 4 hours daily scrolling through other people's highlight reels. 4 hours. That's 1,460 hours per year. Enough time to master a new skill, build a business, or transform my body. But the time wasn't even the worst part. The breaking point came 3 months ago. I was at dinner with my girlfriend, and she asked me about my goals for the year. I started talking about this YouTube channel, about building my business, about getting in better shape. And she just looked at me and said, "You've been saying the same things for 2 years. When are you actually going to do them?" That hit different. Later that night, I realized something terrifying. Every time I had a free moment, waiting in line, between meetings, even in the bathroom, I was reaching for my phone. I wasn't even conscious of it anymore. It was like breathing. And every time I opened Instagram or TikTok, I'd see guys my age crushing it, making money online, traveling the world, building incredible physiques. And instead of inspiring me, it was paralyzing me. I'd spend hours watching other men live the life I wanted, while my own dreams collected dust. I was literally consuming success instead of creating it. So I made a decision that felt crazy at the time. I would quit social media completely for 30 days. Not reduce it, not limit it, completely eliminate it. I deleted every app, logged out of everything. I even asked my girlfriend to change my password so I couldn't cheat. Because let's be honest, we lie to ourselves about this stuff all the time. I'll just check for 5 minutes. I need it for work. I'm just staying connected with friends. All lies. And deep down, we know it. The first week was brutal, and I'm not exaggerating. I experienced what I can only describe as withdrawal symptoms. My hand would instinctively reach for my phone dozens of times per day. I'd unlock it, stare at my home screen, and remember, nothing to scroll. The phantom notifications were the worst part. I swear I could hear my phone buzzing, even when it wasn't. My brain was so conditioned to expect that dopamine hit every few minutes that it was literally creating fake alerts. But something else started happening around day 4. I began noticing things I hadn't seen in years. The way sunlight hit my coffee cup in the morning. The actual conversations people were having around me. The sound of birds outside my window. I know that sounds cheesy, but when you're constantly living in a digital world, you forget how rich the real world actually is. By day 7, I realized something profound. I had been using social media as an escape from my own thoughts. Every uncomfortable feeling, every moment of boredom, every flash of anxiety, I'd immediately numb it with endless scrolling. But now, without that escape, I had to actually deal with my emotions. And that's when the real transformation began. Week 2 is when everything changed. Without the constant noise of other people's opinions flooding my brain, I started hearing my own thoughts clearly for the first time in years. I remembered goals I'd forgotten about, dreams I'd buried under layers of digital distraction. I pulled out a notebook, an actual physical notebook, and started writing down ideas that had been buried in my subconscious. But here's what really blew my mind. I started noticing how social media had been programming my desires. I thought I wanted certain things because I saw influencers promoting them. I thought success looked a specific way because that's what filled my feed. Without that programming, I started asking myself what I actually wanted, not what looked good in a post, not what would get likes, what would actually make me fulfilled. And the answer was completely different from what I'd been chasing. I also started reading again. Real books, not just captions and comments. In week 2 alone, I finished 2 entire books. When's the last time you read a book cover to cover? Because I realized I hadn't done it in over a year, despite having stacks of books I'd bought with good intentions. By week 3, something incredible was happening. All that time I'd been spending scrolling was now available for actual productivity. But it wasn't just about the time, it was about the mental energy. You don't realize how much social media drains your mental battery until it's gone. Every post you see, every comment you read, every comparison you make, it's all processing power being stolen from your real goals. I started waking up earlier because I wasn't staying up late scrolling. I began working out consistently because I wasn't comparing myself to fitness influencers and feeling defeated before I started. I actually began building this YouTube channel because I wasn't consuming endless content about how to build a YouTube channel. Here's a brutal truth most men won't admit. We use social media as a substitute for taking action. We watch other people live the life we want and trick our brains into thinking we're making progress. It's like watching cooking shows instead of actually learning to cook. I also noticed my relationships improving dramatically when you're not constantly documenting your life for an audience. You start actually living it. Conversations became deeper. Experiences became richer. I was present in a way I hadn't been in years. The 4th week brought the biggest revelation of all. I realized that social media hadn't just been stealing my time, it had been stealing my identity. For years, I'd been curating a version of myself for public consumption. Every experience was filtered through the lens of, is this postable? Every achievement was diminished if it didn't get enough engagement. I was living for external validation instead of internal satisfaction. Without social media, I started doing things purely because I enjoyed them. I went hiking without taking a single photo. I had amazing conversations that existed only in that moment. I achieved small wins that nobody else knew about, and they felt incredible. I also started realizing how much comparison was poisoning my motivation. Social media trains you to measure your beginning against someone else's middle. You see their highlight reel and compare it to your behind-the-scenes struggle. But success isn't about appearing successful. It's about becoming successful. And you can't become successful if you're spending all your time watching other people's success. After 30 days, the results spoke for themselves. Productivity. I launched this YouTube channel, wrote the outline for a book I'd been thinking about for 2 years, and started a side business that's already generating income. Physical health. I lost 8 pounds and gained visible muscle definition because I was actually working out instead of watching fitness content. I was sleeping better because I wasn't scrolling before bed. Mental health? My anxiety decreased dramatically. I stopped having FOMO about events and experiences. My self-confidence increased because I wasn't constantly comparing myself to others. Relationships. My girlfriend and I had deeper conversations. I reconnected with friends through actual phone calls instead of likes and comments. I was present during social gatherings instead of documenting them. Financial. I saved money I would have spent on things I saw advertised. I made money from the business I actually had time to build. I invested in myself instead of consuming other people's content. Focus. This is huge. I could focus on tasks for hours without feeling the urge to check my phone. My attention span, which had been destroyed by short-form content, was completely restored. Here's the choice every man faces in 2024. You can either be a creator or a consumer. You can either build your dream life or watch other people build theirs. But you can't do both simultaneously. Every minute you spend consuming someone else's content is a minute you're not creating your own success. I'm not saying social media is evil, but I am saying it's designed to keep you stuck in a cycle of passive consumption. And passive consumers don't build empires. They don't transform their bodies. They don't create wealth. They don't develop the skills that matter. Active creators do. Now, full transparency. I did eventually return to social media, but I returned as a completely different person. I returned with clear boundaries, specific purposes, and unshakable priorities. I only use it as a tool to build my business and share valuable content. I don't scroll feeds. I don't follow accounts that make me feel inadequate. I don't use it for entertainment or escapism. And the difference is night and day. Social media now serves me instead of enslaving me. So here's my challenge to you. Delete social media for 30 days. Not reduce it, delete it. I know what you're thinking. I need it for work. No, you don't. Email exists. I'll miss important updates. Nothing important happens on social media that won't reach you another way. I'll be bored. Good. Boredom breeds creativity. The men who accept this challenge will separate themselves from the 99% who stay trapped in the cycle of passive consumption. If this video resonated with you, here's what I want you to do right now. First, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I'm building something special here, and you don't want to miss it. Second, leave a comment telling me, what's one goal you could achieve if you had an extra 4 hours per day? Be specific. Write it down. Make it real. Third, if you're ready to take the 30-day challenge, comment "I'm in" below. I'll be checking the comments and personally responding to everyone who commits. And finally, share this video with one man who needs to hear this message. We're building a community of men who choose action over distraction, creation over consumption. Remember, your dreams are waiting for you on the other side of your phone screen. The choice is yours.